Cool.
Cool.
So, hello.
Hello, and welcome to Two Queers.
One pod.
I'm Bridie,
I'm Imogen.
and Merry Christmas! Woo!
Almost, sort of, ish.
Yeah.
This is our festive episode. This is our podcast office Christmas party.
Very exciting. Yeah, ideally we would have been in the same room for this, but we won't know if that's going to be possible for another 10 days yet, based on the UK tier system during the pandemic, which is hopefully a sentence that's going to sound bizarre to me in like a couple of years' time.
No.
Yeah. I have a surprise for you, maybe before we
A surprise for me?
Well, for your eyes, basically. Just I've set this up. Hang on 2 seconds. Yay!
Oh, it's Christmas.
So for those of you who can't see, I have set up, basically I film with a bookcase behind me, and I spent a good half an hour glue tacking these Christmas lights, little twinkly lights. It has different functions, so if the flashing is annoying, I can get it to do loads of different stuff, like a little bit.
Oh, that's so cute.
A little bit
so
of that.
Festive. You've
I know,
got your
love it.
wreath.
I know.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I tried to fashion something hanging up where my background hangs, but it's completely cut off the image, so it was completely pointless.
That's fair.
But you know, the thought was there.
I have my Christmas pudding beret on, and I don't actually know if I'm wearing it properly. I
don't know if there is a proper way to wear a Christmas pudding beret.
But it's very great. I love it. Cool.
Well, yeah, Merry Season's greetings, Yuletides, and all of that jazz. Cheers.
Cheers. We have beverages this time. So Imi's got a rather dashing looking martini. I don't even know how to make a martini.
I learnt today. This is my first martini that I've ever made from scratch. It is a dirty wet martini.
Oh,
because
intrigue.
Because that's how I see myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got your 3 olives in there, which is the epitome of class, I would say. She's classy tonight. Ow.
Classy every night.
Hit the glass on my teeth. That's class. Now that's class. And I've got non-alcoholic mulled punch, which I then put like a couple teaspoons of gin in because this is where I'm at. I didn't want to go to the shop today, so I'm just piecing things together. It's not bad.
It looks great. You look very festive, chic. It's a lovely time.
That's nice. But yeah, jingle bells.
All the way. So Christmas, Brodie, how do you feel about Christmas? You excited?
I feel like as I get older, I don't really get that excited for Christmas anymore as much as I used to. It just doesn't seem like this big grand kind of day to me as much as it used to when I was a child. And also just with this year, I don't really feel, I don't know, I am excited because I haven't really been able to spend a lot of time with my family this year. So I'm excited for that. But I also feel like I'm going to come out of it being absolutely exhausted, but that's fine. I'm excited. Well, this is the thing, because we don't know if we're going to be able to properly hang out with each other, because that's normally my favourite part of Christmas, is like going to the pub with my mates and playing board games, etc. But it's a little bit different this year. But I'm excited for everyone to hopefully be in a more jolly mood than months past. But yeah, I think Christmas this year just comes with a little bit of a thing. But I don't want to bum everyone out because this is being aired on Christmas Day. So I'm hoping that, is it not?
I have it down as the 20th.
Oh, that's fine then. That's fine.
So it's just before Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping by in 2 weeks' time, I'll be more excited and just a little bit more woohoo. But yeah, I don't know. Christmas is fine. It's like the only fun thing that's happening this year. So that should be cool. Nice of the government to let us spend it with our families, I suppose, if you choose to. Yeah,
it's a funny old thing, isn't it? Because it's people are very, very divided on that. My family doesn't celebrate Christmas, so it's a bit of and also we've been with each other for the whole year. So we don't necessarily need any extra time with each other, but it'll be
It's an excuse to
lovely.
have like nice foods and kind of, I don't know, turn the heating up an extra bit.
An extra degree. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say put the fire on, but I don't know if you've got. I've never had a fire except in this a fireplace, except in this house, and no one knows how to do it, so it's wasted.
Yeah, it's a lost art.
But yeah. So what do you do for Christmas rather than the kind of traditional English Christmas?
Well, we do Yule on the solstice. We used to celebrate Christmas like normal people, but for the vast majority of my childhood, so the first like 12 or so years, apart from when I was an infant, I'd celebrated it with my dad in Ireland. So I did the Irish Christmas, which involved, getting up and going to church and doing all of that very traditional stuff. But then when I moved back here, we kind of sort of did Christmassy type things, but we would have like much more like low maintenance food. Like we would have supper with my gran and granddad, but that was sort of the only really festive thing. But it wouldn't be like the roast and the stress and the all of that kind of stuff. We just have dinner as a family, kind of like we would sporadically throughout the year anyway. And then my granddad died, and so that kind of changed a little bit. My gran still came for a few years, but then she moved away to Cornwall, and so we kind of, when she left, there was no real need to do the family thing. So we absolutely like sacked off doing anything on the 25th. We now do like a smallish thing on the 21st. Exchange a couple of presents, eat something a little bit different. We generally just eat a lot more cheese than usual, but yeah, we don't really go in for the whole stress filled, huge, expectation laden. Sorry, I'm making it sound really awful. I'm sure it's lovely. I'm sure it's really nice.
No, you're reminding me of Christmases that I've experienced in the past, so it's not completely off base. But
yeah, it's just not my fave. My experiences of Christmas proper haven't been the best, I suppose. And it's often just because everyone's emotions are high.
Yes,
things can get a bit more tense, perhaps, in the family settings, and I have no aspiration to recreate that in adult life, in all honesty.
That's totally fair.
But I've the past few years, or since my gran moved away and I haven't had anything to do on the 25th, I've kind of bounced around a few different people's like family Christmases, which is really great.
That's so lovely.
Love.
That's so lovely.
Yeah, like you get to eat other people's Christmas foods, you get to meet people's families that you wouldn't normally get to meet, and that kind of stuff. Obviously that's going to be an option this year, but it'll just be like a normal, it always just feels a bit like a Sunday to me. I mean, no matter what day of the week it is, it just feels like another Sunday.
Very Sunday vibes.
Yeah, so I'll be like, oh, we need to be recording a podcast episode, and then you'll be up to your eyeballs in family.
Yeah,
it's not actually a Sunday.
Well, yeah, only maths, four other family members on the 25th. No, to be honest though, we don't normally have everybody over at once anyway, except it depends, because how we do Christmas, so we've got my immediate family, so my sister and my parents, and then my aunt and uncle on my mum's side and their son, and then my grandparents. We all lived in the same town. We still do. So we would normally do it where we do lunch separately, as in the grandparents usually go between one of the two siblings each year, and then at the end we kind of all get together at one of someone's house for a drink, kind of thing, which is fun actually. And the best Christmas that I can remember is the one where we all stayed together for the whole day, because that was just like, it was amazing. And then the years since that I've been like, why can't we all just do it together? But I think like some family members just prefer to have the space, which is totally fair enough. As I've got older, I appreciate that more. But yeah, because we do have the kind of traditional, I guess, Christmas where like the woman is in the kitchen making it. It's usually my mum, or well, was my gran when we'd have it at her house. And like it's a kind of a combination between she doesn't want anyone to help her with dinner, because it's like too much stress to also delegate as well as doing it, but then also she like gets quite stressed from doing it. So actually in the last few years we've sometimes gone out for Christmas lunch as well, which has been quite interesting.
That's really nice.
Because for years we were like, oh, we'll never do that, because you kind of feel bad for the people who have to work. But then when you realise that they probably don't really care, because they can do Christmas at like, Christmas is the kind of thing where you can do it on any day. Like if you just woke up one day in June and was like, should we get a bunch of crackers in and a turkey and just do Christmas, I feel like you wouldn't really notice that it's not December or whatever. And they also get like triple pay, so I think it's fine, but I don't know.
I mean, they're working anyway. Presumably they don't care who's there.
Yeah,
like it's better to have people in than to not.
for sure, than have it be empty and you still have to be there, kind of thing. But yeah, because I know you wanted to talk about like your favorite memory of like Christmas or whatever, and I think that's probably mine, is when, because I think that year as well, it must have been, I think 2012, because it was a combination of the first year where we didn't go to church, so I had to go to church every year at Christmas till I was 15.
Did you do the midnight mass thing or Christmas morning?
Yes, so we kind of, I remember growing up it was always midnight mass, and then I think I got too unruly to take to midnight mass. I just got really like antsy and just couldn't settle and blah blah blah. I remember every time I went to church I had to like bring something to do. And then we started to do the morning mass, which I didn't mind, because because I went to Catholic school, a lot of my friends were there, and you're kind of like, the whole experience is quite jolly, but you notice, and my dad didn't have to go, which annoyed me.
Why?
Because this is the thing, like I would have this argument with my mum in the car every Christmas morning of like, why doesn't dad have to go? And she's like, well, he doesn't want to. And I'm like, so why do I have to go? Because I don't want to. She's like, because. And I'm like, right, okay. But the first year that we didn't go to church was the year that we then spent Christmas all together, because my other family members didn't go either. And you just notice like the couple extra hours of sleep, amazing. Or like just not having to factor getting super dressed up really early in the morning on Christmas. Like, no, I don't want to do that. It's the Lord's Day.
Oh yeah, no, I vividly remember having to get up early and wearing like my Christmas outfit that's been picked out for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've never been a morning person particularly, and that was really not the peak.
Yeah. It was just, yeah, it was fun when I was younger, and it only stopped being fun once I got older and started to just understand church, and just be like, I don't agree with any of this. I don't want to go to his birthday party. I don't want, like, because yeah, when I was younger, it just seemed like part of the fun, and then you get to sing songs, and then I think the kids got like given chocolate on their way out of church as like all wrapped up as like a well done for coming to church sort of indoctrination, but I'm past it now.
Can't bribe me with chocolate anymore.
Oh, I still get the one like super religious Christmas card from my granddad's sister every year, which just always makes me laugh.
Yeah, we get a couple
good
from
intentions,
like family friends and stuff, and they're just I find it kind of charming. There's a lot of things that I have problems with organised religion, but people that really fucking go in on Christmas, that's not one of them. I'm very happy for people that get a lot of joy from this time of year. Just because I don't doesn't mean that I don't. I think people used to think that because we didn't celebrate it that I was like against it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, if it brings you, same with everything, between consenting adults, if it brings you joy, I'm all for it.
Yeah, my parents are really sweet actually, in the fact that they still, me and my sister, there hasn't been a year yet where we haven't woken up in their house at Christmas. Which sweet. We're really grateful for, that this year we can still do that, because even though like my sister's nearly 30 and I'm 23, they still kind of put our presents in little piles, like in our seats. We always sit in the same seat in the living room. Yeah, there used to be like proper sacks, and then we down, as in not full, but like Santa sacks, and then we downgraded to baskets, and now because we're adults, we just get a couple of presents a year. Like they're just in little piles, and then they're like, Santa's been, are you coming down? And we're like, fuck off, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, we kind of do a bit of a sort of stockingy type thing, but they are actual stockings, like big socks.
I love that.
Well, not even that big, but I don't know, probably fit me up to the knee.
Yeah.
And then my mum kind of sticks. See, that's the thing of like when you were talking about your mum being in the kitchen and stuff, it's like we're a single parent household.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an 8-year age gap between me and my brother. So it would be really weird if my mum was in the kitchen all day and me and my brother were just left to our own
That's so
devices
true.
to kind of socialise with each other. Like we get on really, really well and have a lot of time for each other, but it wouldn't feel like a particularly different day if it was just like the two of us just like.
No, I remember like, so the normal agenda for Christmas Day, if you will, is like, so we wake up, we do presents. Normally my dad films it, but since we're adults now, I think he's given up because there's just no point.
That's really nice though. You'll look back on those.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. Although I do think there's one from when I was like 11 and I said that one of my presents was crap. Just because that was a new word that I'd learned. But like, it's one of those things that I did when I was a kid that whenever I think about it now, I cringe. I'm like, you are a horrible child.
No. Oh no.
It was funny though. I was just like, I just remember
the way that you beat yourself up about these sorts of things, and that's such a non-issue. Like,
I was
it's
a kid.
Just funny. If a kid said that to me, I would be beside myself with laughter. Yeah. Just like, oh yeah, this is crap. Like, have you learned a new word? I remember at the age of 9 playing games with like some kids from around where I lived. Actually, shout out to you, listener of the podcast, Katie, who you used to work with at Centre Parks. I think she was there for this, but I don't, presumably she wouldn't remember. But I remember, I think I lost at something and proclaimed, well, bugger me. Which I then added with bugger me with a fish slice. Why? What is that a reference to?
Sorry, two things. Bugger and fish slice.
What? And I just remember my next door neighbour, who the sister was like 2 years older than me and the brother was a year younger than me. And I just remember the sister turning to me and going like, do you know what that means? I was like, God. No, obviously not.
Clarify for the listeners that a fish slice is a spatula.
Yeah, right? But with like slats in it.
Yeah, I call them fish slices at guides when I used to go, but I never used to call it that before. But it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, as an adult, knowing effectively what I had proclaimed, the logistics are completely cannot imagine.
Fuck my pussy with a rake, mom. Fans of the Cartier and Trixie podcast, if you don't follow that, you will have no idea what I just said. But
yeah, that was it's just one of those things, isn't it? Kids learn language. Like, I remember one of my mum's boyfriends at one point left our freezer door open before going out to work. We came back several hours later, found that the freezer had been left open, and my mum proclaimed arse buggery fuck. Which was, I think I must have been about 12, and I thought that was the single greatest thing I had ever heard. It is still my absolute favourite I suppose way to proclaim dissatisfaction or annoyance at something.
Yeah.
But it was the way that she said it, as if there were commas in between, so it wasn't arse buggery, it was arse buggery
and fuck. Like Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just
oh my God, I just reminded myself.
Perfect swearing.
Oh no, I can't remember, but I just got a flash of someone sneezed, and then this random old woman in the street was like, may the Lord bless you and baptize you in the name of something, and it was literally just, you could have just said bless you. I love Irish people, Irish elderly. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about you calling a present crap, and I was talking about all the best swears.
I was talking about like how we do Christmas.
Mm.
So we do presents, blah blah blah, and then my mum goes into the kitchen. We then go and like shower and do our makeup and put on like what we wanted to wear at Christmas. This year I've bought a jumper from a illustrator in where we live called Emma Kingston. I think it's E Kingston Illustration on Instagram, and she's got an Etsy shop, and it says on the 5th day of Christmas my true love gave to me 5 gold blooms, and it's just got 5 pictures of Jeff Goldblum on it. And I'm very excited to wear that. Yeah, and then like in the afternoon we kind of go through like BBC One's Christmas. This is kind of more old Christmases when we were a bit younger, but like someone's got the TV guide, and we watch the Queen's speech. I don't know, I doubt that's something that you do. I don't know why.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
We have to watch it every year. Everyone's like, oh, when's Queenie on? Yeah.
It always 3:00.
Yeah, I don't know what's off. I'm normally playing my DS in the corner because they always get me a game that kind of just like takes all my concentration for like the whole Christmas to New Year week, which I'm not, I'm absolutely fine with. And then we all have lunch, and then we basically just like have a mix of old people napping, young people napping, playing board games, watching all the soap specials, and then just drinking until it's time to go home. And that is our Christmas.
That sounds really nice though.
It is it's lovely, to be honest. We do Christmas quite traditionally, and it feels like the one day a year where we all do kind of, no, not the one day, that's a bit harsh, but it really feels like family vibes when we do Christmas. I'm really grateful for that. I remember last year, the day before I got my lip pierced, which I don't anymore because it fell out during lockdown. And I wasn't told by the piercer. I mean, okay, I could have done my own research, but I wasn't told that if you drink, your lip will swell. And my lip literally grew to 3 times its size. The piercing kept going inside my lip. Sorry for those who are squeamish. Kept getting lost. And I was like, well, this just won't do. And then I had to go to Lana's house. And she gave me all her old kind of jewelry. And it was really funny because I never normally see friends on Christmas Day. So I was like, oh my God, hi. But yeah, that was dramatic. But yeah, I don't really know.
Like a piercing inside your own face.
No.
Festive.
But I'm excited for the Irish coffee. That's one of my favourite parts of Christmas, is kind of having adults there who can make really nice drinks for me. Like I don't, for example, I've got gin and mulled wine here. That's not exactly but they can make me like Negronis and Irish, like I say, Irish coffees, and just like,
I aspire to be that person in my family.
I mean,
I'm the only person that drinks, but yeah, one day when I have a bigger family.
Well, do you know what? I think in the next few years, I'm going to insist that we do like friends on Christmas Day. I was talking to our friend Chloe about this the other day, and we sort of said, like, because they're looking for a house at the moment, and we kind of said, once they're settled, I think one year we'll all just have like a potluck friends dinner with board games and stuff like that. So that would be fun. I don't think my mum would be too upset with that concept.
Are you sure?
I don't know. No, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know your mum that well. I feel like she could take exception to that. But I reckon that you can do family stuff in the earlier part of the day and then friend stuff in the evening. So it would be more like everyone brings a snack. Yeah. Like a good selection of nibbles and drinks.
That is one thing about Christmas I bloody love. It's just the whole charcuterie of it all,
Or charcuterie of it all.
Oh.
Is that something for our merch?
Oh, I think so. Well, as soon as you said it, I was like, well, that's a t-shirt. Yeah, just like being like, oh, I've had my massive Christmas dinner and 3 desserts, but you know what? I've got a bit peckish.
Looking for something savoury.
So then you go into the kitchen and Mum's just got this whole spread of like crackers and cheese, and oh my God.
Yeah, because your family home has a really small kitchen, but it can hold an awful lot of snacks.
It can.
When I've been for your birthday or something in the past, I've been like, God, Gina's got all of the... She's really figured this out, hasn't she?
Yeah. If there's one thing the Fries know how to do, even though we don't do it often, it is throw a party. Like, I think none of us enjoy it.
It's
as
the
we've
Irish
mentioned
in you.
before. Yes, exactly. As we've mentioned before on this podcast, I don't like to host parties.
You're very good at it.
I like to plan them. I don't like to be. I would literally host it and then just leave and let you all enjoy it more.
I mean, I feel like you have done that.
Yeah, no, that's true. That was my 18th birthday. I was there for a bit of it, and then when we all went to the club, me and my boyfriend at the time were just like, okay, bye. I was like, thank you all for coming. Have a lovely night. I'm leaving now. See ya. But that's just me. I'm on my own clock.
Well, that's fine, and that's one of the reasons why we're friends, is because we both have a countdown timer of how long we can manage social situations for, and it's just like do.
It's like last night.
Do.
Me and you.
I'm going home.
Yeah. I'd messaged you to see if you wanted to watch something, and then I messaged you with the question like, do you still want to? Which was kind of a leading thing to be like, please say no, because I really don't want to, but I don't want to say it. And then you're like, I think I'm just going to go to bed so I'm fresh for the record tomorrow. And I was like, thank God. Yeah,
because my house is currently in the process of being absolutely demolished by our landlord, and I'm just
in my head they're just there with like a sledgehammer.
I'm like a wrecking ball. It's just my landlord swinging in with his plumber's crack out.
This podcast, it would just be a big hammer on your webcam.
Jesus Christ. No, seriously, my bathroom has no floor.
Oh,
and he was just like, but that's usable, right? No. So we currently have no washing facilities, and we're all using the downstairs like utility half bath type sink. So it's super fun.
It's a good time.
But as our mutual friend James reminded me, this is just festival living.
Yes.
So I'll just put on some headphones, have a little silent disco, put on some more glitter. Yeah, well, my mum has one actually, but we lost it.
Oh.
Because we didn't need it.
I've never used one, but I remember, where was I? It was a festival, I think it was V-Fest with my father. And I remember just fully watching someone use one. Like I was staring. I was absolutely leering at them. Maybe not leering. But I was just fascinated. I was just like, oh my, because as a vagina having person, going to the toilet at a festival is literally one of the worst things ever. It's pain, because you don't queue up thinking I might need the toilet in 20 minutes. You go thinking, shit, I'm desperate, and then you have to queue for 20 minutes. Oh, it's honestly my idea of hell. The tangents in this episode I'm really enjoying, by the way. We should drink more often.
I'm just here eating my olives.
Are they nice? Are they suitably
They're really good.
What's the word? Marinated.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I've done really well with this, if I do say so myself.
Good. Yeah, what is in a martini, for the listeners and for myself?
Well, this, well, I mean, it now doesn't have its garnish because I've eaten it, but this is 1 part vermouth to 6 parts gin with half a part olive juice.
Ooh.
Brine out of the jar.
Nice.
And then it had 3 olives in it, but they're gone now.
They're gone. I did see someone actually. It's a guy on Instagram that I follow who's a illustrator and owns a couple of bars, called Rich Abandonship, and he made up a drink which I can't remember. It's you shot something and then you chase it with something else. It's called a pickleback because part of it is a I think it's a shot of something like alcoholic and then a chaser of pickle juice. And apparently it's nice. And I actually, as I'm a big fan of vinegar myself, I think I would enjoy it, but it doesn't sound great.
I'm just
do you write that down? Yeah.
I'm actually writing down content warning alcohol.
Oh.
I didn't necessarily think we were going to mention it for quite as much, but I will. Yeah. I will put this in the
do you know what's funny? We don't drink that much. Like,
no.
Yeah, which is funny. But when we do,
my perception of how much I drink is very much biased because I'm the only person that drinks in my household.
Fair.
I understand, as was shown by the priorities of people going into and out of lockdown in this country. Pubs mean an awful lot more to a lot of people than they do to me.
Yes.
I really like the social element, but the actual drinking thing and then how much people drank over lockdown, I didn't understand quite how much people in this country, like, I knew, but I didn't know properly how much people drink and how much people rely on it. So yeah, there will be a content warning on the what was the other thing that you said trigger warning about? Please cut this bit out, Harry. I don't know. I feel like you said something about. Oh no, I think it was just something to write down in the description. But yeah,
maybe we'll see. We can listen back. That's the beauty of a podcast. Okay, cool. Oh yeah,
festive beverages. Festive.
Do you do a tree?
Well, our first year that we lived here, my brother was still very small. I was only here for Christmas, and then I was going to back to school in Ireland. So my mum made a really big effort for doing Christmas kind of traditionally. The one thing she forgot, because she hadn't ever really done Christmas because my brother was too small, and while I was away in Ireland, she and my stepdad would just like have a day off because they both worked in the wine industry, so they were super busy.
Yeah.
Like there's retail and then there's alcohol retail during the festive period, and they were just both knackered and we had no money, so they didn't really do anything. They'd just chill out, and then my brother was an infant, so they'd kind of do something small. But then this was like the first Christmas I'd ever spent with my mum, so she went all out, but she went all out without really knowing what the component parts of Christmas are.
Okay.
And so she did forget the tree.
Right.
So she went to home base very, very late, on like the day before Christmas or maybe the day before that, to try and get something. And what she did, bless her heart, favourite person on the planet, she sorry. She got a bush and she cut it into a triangle shape.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, bless her.
So we had that for a few years because I think that's just the best thing.
Okay,
the best thing. We kept it for a few years. We kept trimming it.
My thing about the Christmas tree was to say that, so I've been seeing a lot of people this year, especially on Instagram, going to like a tree forest and buying, like picking out their tree and cutting it down, which I was going to say seems like it's one of those things that's like, it seems Tory, but it's not. But also one of my best friends did that this year, so I'm not, no shade, because I actually think it's like pumpkin picking, you know, but with a big tree.
But the pumpkins are gonna, I don't know, I have slightly weird feelings about it.
Opinions. But I was going to say was that
ours has always been alive.
Yeah, that always makes
like a plant in a pot with soil and roots.
Yeah, but so our tree, we used the same tree for like 8 years because we planted it was planted in our driveway before, well, you know what my driveway looks like now, it's just all concrete, but before there was like a little mini kind of garden in the front. We literally had it planted in our driveway, and then every year my dad would just uproot it, put it in a bucket of soil for like 3 weeks, put it back, and it literally lived for like many Christmases.
That's really impressive.
I just love that. So we don't do it anymore. I remember we bought our current tree is a fake bought one from the big Tesco in Trowbridge. But yeah, up until it just was like enough of pulling me out and putting me back in. But I think that's quite sweet. But you say that you kept the same one.
Yeah, we had a bush that we kept cutting into a triangle shape for a while, and then we upgraded to an actual needly one that again just lived in a pot in the garden that we would bring in and put back out in the garden for a while. And then when we stopped doing like the full Christmas thing, I think that tree had died as well, and that was just another one of these things where it was like, well, need we yet another one? And so now I will endeavour to post a photo of this because it's really hard to explain. We have a really big stick, like a really big twig, that my mum found on a walk one Christmas, and she just brought it home and decorated it. And so now we just put the decorations on the big stick that we had for Christmas trees, like for little Christmas. We only have a small house, so they were only ever small trees.
Yeah.
But so we just hang these like fake gingerbread decorations. We have like 12 decorations. We put them on the stick at some point in the run up to the 20th. We take them off in the new year, and then the stick just lives in our living room all the rest of the year. It's it's one of those things that I'm super used to, but then, I mean, obviously not this year, but in previous years, someone's like come round and just, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, just go like hang out in the sitting room or whatever, and there's just a fucking stick in a jar, and it just lives in our sitting room.
It's nice that you've got those kind of, I like that about Christmas, is that everyone seems to have their kind of bespoke traditions, which
Fucking
is quite
stick
sweet.
in a jar. I love that. You've never noticed it? You've been in my sitting room a few times when it's been there and you've never remarked on it, and that is one of the reasons why I love you, is because you're so used to my family's slight idiosyncrasies that you don't even comment anymore on some of the weird shit that's just in my house or is part of our, because we don't really have many people in the house, so we don't feel the need to like hide things or whatever. So, but it's just, that sounds really sinister, doesn't it? But no, I just mean like, stick in a jar, etc., etc.
I keep getting whiskey in the jar stuck in my head when you say stick in a jar. I don't know if you know that song. It's an old kind of Irish folk song that then Thin Lizzy covered, so it's big in my family.
Nice.
I have every, like, when you say about decorations, that's another thing that I love about Christmas, is because we've had the exact same ones since I was a baby. We've got we put like a little fake pine garland on our stairs, and then on those we hang, this is on the mantle, gotta get it right in case any of my family listens to this. So sort of fake pine garland on the mantle with like little Christmas themed Winnie the Pooh characters that are about a size of a 10p piece that you like hang on there, and they've all made it through many Christmases. And then we've got like, so in my living room, this is one of my favorite things about Christmas, we've got these shelves where in the backing of the shelves my mum made, so she like cut out some, I guess, MDF wood, and because she's actually amazing at painting, she painted like, so there's one half that's like a snow scene and the other half which is like a nativity scene, because, you know, that Catholic family, I suppose. It's weird because like none of us are really Catholics anymore. We're all just kind of like, I don't know, but we still do it. And she's like hand painted these backdrops, and then she has these little figurines of like polar bears taking Santa on a sleigh, and it's all very white and lovely, like snowy on one side, and then on the other side you've got the nativity scene. But it's just,
Is that made of Winnie the Pooh characters as well?
It isn't. It's kind of like I guess like carved wood, I think. And then there's these, oh my god, I'm remembering all our decorations now. There are these two little ceramic bears where if you press the bottom, what is it they sing? I think it's just Jingle Bells. So, but it's like those it's like a electric tune. So it's like do 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 do. But because they're so old, they sound so cursed. And I like to put them on like 2 seconds apart from each other, and I always get, every year, I'm the youngest child, I have to, it's in my blood to be a menace. So
you have a duty to just cause a little bit of chaos.
You cannot turn them off without smashing them against the wall. I don't know, it's just, I guess I'm a bigger fan of Christmas than I let on at the start, because I'm getting really excited about it. But you forget, don't you? I think it's how like British people especially forget, or people that live in this country forget, that like every year you're like, oh fucking hell, it's cold, even though every year it gets cold and then gets warm. You forget the little intricacies.
We just love a grumble. We just love it's part of our cultural national zeitgeist to just kind of whinge about everything. I don't know if that's the same in other countries, but I don't think it is.
I think it's also how people perceive us from other countries as well.
And it is correct.
You are so correct. But can you blame us? In, like, I know this fact from Wild Child that it rains 208 days out of the year on average.
Do you reckon that's accurate?
I believe it. Mind you, this is like a 10-year-old film and global warming, so it's probably even worse now.
That didn't come out 10 years ago.
Did it not? I'm gonna look it up.
No, that's me going.
That was you being like,
fuck.
Yeah, I think it might have been a fair amount of time
Actually,
ago.
No, 10 years does seem reasonable.
Wild Child, go. Oh my god, Emmy, it came out in 2008. That is so hideous. 12 years ago.
Saw that in the cinema.
Me too. I saw that with my sister and my mum. And I remember the scene where she's under the car and she does that like fart noise. The three of us were in absolute stitches. When it's Alex Pettifer's talking to the headmistress or no, Moaning Myrtle. And then she goes like, and then she thinks it's him and it's like, ha ha ha, farts. Yeah. Oh, to be, well, how old was I then? 11. Good times. You're okay.
Wow, okay. Sorry. Just my whole life flashed before my eyes.
Oh, God.
That's fine.
A lot has happened in those years, to be fair. That's what sometimes I think, like, bloody hell, it's all flashing by. But then I try and think, okay, but how different
How different was I when I was 13?
So different.
2008. Yeah, fucking maths. Anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, your Christmas sounds lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like I really love. That's why I really enjoy bouncing around other people's family Christmases. Is because I really enjoy how other people do it. I find the season quite stressful because it brings back a lot of like difficult memories.
Yeah.
And like past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoy experiencing it like through other people's eyes and seeing that kind of genuine festive cheer and genuine like love for seeing extended family and that kind of stuff. And it's really nice. And the food is good.
Yes.
The food is very good.
It is awesome. Yeah, obviously we can't do it this year, but I think in years to come, I just would really love to, even if friends just come to my family's house, like you just said, like I would love just to have, and I think my parents would be absolutely fine with that. You know, we could set up the little wood burner in the garden and just all like sit around. I think they'd be quite keen because in the evening in my family, everyone just kind of turns off at about 8 p.m. and it's always me just being there like, fuck, I'm bored. But that's just me being ADHD and not being able to fall asleep when I've had too much to drink. I'm just there like, right, what are we doing now? What's the plan?
I've been drinking all day. Let's keep going.
I remember actually last year was the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, and I know that you haven't seen it. No, and that's okay. But that was like, I feel really bad though because that was the year that was actually that was the last year that we had with my gran, which we none of us knew. But me and my sister were really excited for everyone to leave so that we could watch it. But it's the kind of thing where like you can't feel bad about it because you didn't know. But we were literally like leave so we could watch Gavin and Stacey. But that's that. You know,
you had the rest of the day
how
with
the cookie crumbles.
You made lots of other nice memories.
Oh, it was really funny
nice
actually.
Pictures of you. From that, like Christmas lunch and stuff.
There's a really funny picture from so she had bought herself a balaclava to wear when it was really cold.
Your sister?
No, my nan.
Oh,
she had bought herself a balaclava because she, in her head, was like, oh, this keeps my whole head warm. Yeah, so one of the pictures that I have of her is of her getting ready to leave with her coat on and a balaclava. She's just fucking hilarious.
What
like,
a gem.
God rest her soul. Absolutely just so funny. But yeah, all in all, and also we haven't even talked about Christmas songs or films yet. That's another thing that I quite enjoy.
Do you Love Actually, Bridget Jones?
Yeah, Love Actually. I'd only watched a couple of years ago, and I loved it. I love it. Yeah, I like Christmas songs, like even the really religious, not really religious, but even the kind of, you know, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. The Glee version is very good. Oh Holy Night, love that. Silent Night scares me. I was saying this to Harry the other day. There's just something about it that seems very like eerie, and it freaks me out a little bit.
Have you heard it in German?
No.
It's a German song.
Okay, that's interesting.
At least I think so. Either way, my dad used to sing it at me in German a lot when I was younger.
That's so your dad.
Yes, it is.
And I remember, I can't remember. I think the film actually is called Silent Night. And if anyone else has watched this, do let me know.
That sounds like a horror film.
It's a animated film from the donkey's perspective in the story of Jesus and Bethlehem and all that. It's the donkey's perspective.
Is it voiced by Eddie Murphy?
No, but that would have been amazing. Just while we're here,
that would have been a really good like Shrek spin-off.
Definitely. No, it was proper like Silent Night animated film. Let's see. Oh no. Okay, no, I don't want Buster and Chauncey's Silent Night. I don't know what that is. Donkey Silent
This is when we
Night.
find out that you've made this up.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past myself, to be honest with you. Oh, here we go. No, I'm so correct. Silent Night, the story of the first Christmas. And I don't know if you can see from there. Oh, we did this last time and it didn't work.
Oh, good. Good.
Can't really see, but it's just weird. I don't remember any part of the film except just finding that the concept ridiculous. But we had it on like video and everything. I'm just seeing who's in it. Directed by Richard Slapsinski.
Oh, him. He's my fave.
Yeah. Okay, the cast aren't even on IMDb, so that just shows how niche it is.
We love a niche Christmas film.
Exactly. I don't blame anyone if they haven't seen it. I think it was just one that I was made to watch because it was like churchy. I don't know. Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas is epic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Epic.
I haven't seen that for a long time. Do you think that's on Disney Plus?
Oh, it is. I've checked. It is, and I think we should watch it. Yeah, with the evil organ that is played by Tim Curry and looks like Michael Jackson. You can't unsee it. When you make the comparison, it's always there. Yeah, I love that film.
Bridget Jones. I'm just going to say it again.
Is Bridget Jones? It starts off with
set in Christmas.
It's
like during the Christmas period. And there's a lot of snow and a lot of good stuff like that. I don't think it counts as a Christmas film, but it's my version of a Christmas film. Because it's just anything with Colin Firth in it. Apparently, Love Actually and Bridget Jones are my two go-to Christmas films. I don't really know any others. Oh no, what's the It's a Wonderful
Life. Oh my Christ! So I've only seen that once, and my dad, just one Christmas, he was just like, right, and it was as if he'd been asking for years, but he hadn't.
He'd been asking in his own head.
Right, this year, all phones away, and we're all going to sit down and watch this film. So he turns it on. He could have fucking said it was 3 hours long. He didn't. There was no warning. He did the same with Forrest Gump. He makes us all sit down and watch it, and then it gets to like
Classic
2 hours in, and we're like, Dad, is this going to end soon? But it was good. But I just remembered there's a bit in Friends as well when the concept is that Phoebe's mum, when she was growing up, didn't let her watch the end of films, so she never knew that like Bambi's mum dies or like blah blah blah.
Bambi's mum doesn't die at the end.
Pardon?
Well, no, as in Bambi's mum dies within the first 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So, no. Okay, she watching after 10 minutes. That's okay. But you know what I'm saying. Like they don't.
I would absolutely be that parent because I am that person to myself. I stopped watching Mean Girls when Lindsay Lohan goes to throw a party.
Yes.
Because that's when it all goes wrong.
That's so cringy as well.
Exactly. I can't deal with that secondhand cringe. It hurts me.
Yeah. But yeah,
and it's just the way that like they trash a parent's house.
I know. It's uncomfortable, and it's the way that like I have a lot to say about Mean Girls. I feel like this could be a whole other thing, like an episode about films that sort of quotes girls were brought up to watch and just how like dangerous they were behaviorally. But yeah, just to quickly finish the thing about the Friends. That's all right. I don't apologize. Yeah, and so Monica suggests that she watches It's a Wonderful Life. She's like, oh yeah, I don't know which bit I preferred, like when he loses his job or when someone makes his ear bleed. And then then she storms out of the house going like, they should call it It's a Sucky Life, and just when you think it can't suck anymore, it does. And yeah, feel that.
Yeah, my point was that I've actually never seen it. I think my friend Daisy bought me it on DVD because she said that I absolutely had to watch it.
I mean,
just buying me a DVD does not mean I'm going to watch something.
That's so forceful. It's like, you have to watch this. Sorry, if Daisy's listening, I'm not saying that you're forceful, but like,
she is a bit.
Here's a DVD. You physically cannot. Like, I've bought this for you now.
She's done that with a couple of things, actually, along with DVDs that she's seen that I owned, that she then nags me to watch persistently for years. I remember American Beauty. She saw that I had that and then didn't shut up about it for a good 3 years until I caved and watched it. I don't know why I didn't watch it. It's, you know, it's a fine film, but like it
hasn't aged well, particularly.
No, it hasn't. You know, I don't think it is A Wonderful Life. I think it's called Life is Beautiful.
Oh, lol. Meaningless tangent.
Which absolutely shows that I haven't watched it, and I'm sorry, Daisy. I may even have borrowed it from you as I'll definitely watch that if I can borrow it. I still haven't. I have so many people's things. I have a pile of them from when I tidied stuff in the first lockdown of just, these don't belong to me.
Yeah. Oh, a story that I love is A Christmas Carol. I think that's a classic kind of.
Do you like Scrooge and stuff?
Yeah, the Muppets Christmas Carol is one of the best. You don't like the Muppets? All right, fair enough. We'll move on quickly.
I also just don't. I think it's a really weird story.
I quite like it. I just really always like how scary the future ghost is. I've seen it done in like because I used to go to pantomimes quite a lot as well when I was growing up. That was another tradition. This podcast has made me realise how like quintessentially British I am, which is uncomfortable, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's our experience. It's us growing up.
I am, for those who don't know, I'm 75% English to my knowledge. I'm 25% Irish, so I'm just, you know, plain as a baguette, really. Well, not even a baguette, as a soda bread loaf.
Bloomer.
Plain as a white bloomer. That's fine. It is what it is. I add my own flavour. What am I talking about?
I have no idea. It's fine. But yeah, so we both grew up in the UK. I lived in Ireland for a bit, but that's as diverse as our experiences are. But yeah, panto, fantastic times. First experiences with drag.
Yes.
You know, pantomime dames. That's an iconic part of a British childhood, is seeing elderly men dressed as shrill women.
Yeah, singing some Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah, and also Principal Boys is generally the lead male character is often played by a woman.
Oh yeah, like kind of. Yeah, I've seen like what's
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I remember once we went to a pantomime of Cinderella, I think in London, because I've got a cousin who does like a lot of acting, and a sort of family friend who used to do a lot of like child acting as well, and they were both in kind of not West End but kind of off West End pantomimes and stuff. And we watched one where Mr. Blobby just came on stage, but everyone acted like it did seem like completely random, and even the people on stage didn't know what was going on.
Amazing.
Which was hilarious. Like, and I remember he like
I can hate Mr. Blobby with a passion.
Yeah,
but,
that's the only, I've never watched it or anything, but then he took off like the godmother's wig, and they were really pissed off, and it was just like it was bizarre, and I definitely don't think I've made that up.
I hope you have. I really hope that was a dream.
Honestly, like sometimes I say things to my family and they just have no idea what I'm talking about. And I'm just like, no, this did happen. Like, and so sorry, when we were talking before about swear words. So I grew up with this story in my head about how we all went to this place called, what's it called? Poulton Park? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And apparently we went on those like things where you get into like an old sack and then go down a slide. And apparently I went down it and went like, fuck, as like a 4-year-old. And the story that I thought was true my whole life was that then after that, my mum got really pissed off and we all had to go home. And I was talking to them about it a few weeks ago and they were like, no, that didn't happen. And I was like, okay, someone had told me that we all had to go home and that I ruined the day. And that's like what I thought was true the whole time. But no, we didn't. We just carried on with the day. That's so weird, isn't it? How like Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you've been sort of inadvertently blamed for a lot of random shit in your family. It's fun.
Fine. It's all right. They're lovely people now. No, they were before. I think the way that I see it with my family is that we started to really get along once everyone was an adult. That just is that, and sometimes that just needs, yeah, that just needs to happen sometimes. And I'm, we've all made our peace with our past falling outs and whatnot, so it's all good. While we're in the Christmas episode, might as well talk about that. And then
family arguments, the crucial part.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to do question of the week, or should we say quiz of the week?
Yes. So for this episode, we're going to do a cheeky little BuzzFeed quiz instead of the question of the week, which is going to be super fun. And basically we went on to BuzzFeed and to see what ones there were, and none of them were really that interesting, so we're just going to do a food quiz that reveals what Christmas treat we are. So I guess
This is the most BuzzFeed thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Should we read the questions? Oh, it is, isn't it? And then not tell each other what we're picking. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So the first question, pick something for breakfast. This is so
your options are pancakes, avocado toast, French toast, or a bagel. I've had none of those for Christmas breakfast.
Oh yeah, is it meant to be Christmas breakfast?
This food quiz will reveal what Christmas treat you are. I don't know.
I think it's just general food
general
choices.
Breakfast.
Yeah. I guess
I don't have any of these things for breakfast either.
What would you excuse me, prefer if you had to, kind of thing? Then it's grab a snack.
Granola bar. Yeah. Bag of chips, by which they mean crisps. Banana or popcorn?
Banana. Pff. Yeah. Okay.
It's time for lunch. Do you want pizza, chicken nuggets, sandwich, or pasta?
Could I have all of them, please?
Yeah, all of them on a pizza. A chicken nugget sandwich with pasta on a pizza.
How about dinner? Seafood pasta, burger, sushi, or filet mignon?
That's not how you spell filet.
No. And I used to think that was flaming yon. Just saying.
Fantastic. Excellent.
A yon that's on fire. I don't even know what a yon is, or if it is anything.
Don't forget about a side dish. Do you want fries, Brussels sprouts?
Fuck off, Brussels
sprouts.
The
first festive thing they've mentioned.
Yeah.
Fresh salad or mushroom risotto.
Risotto.
Which again, it's not how you spell that.
Someone is getting fired on the on the copywriting team.
How about a dessert?
Can I quickly ask you what your opinion is on Brussels sprouts, by the way?
I think they're fine.
I'll eat them
fried with bacon.
Oh no, we're a typical Irish family. We boil all our vegetables. Much to my dismay.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's like boiling cabbage. It's unacceptable.
Yep. I'm not really a big dessert person.
So the options are ice cream, brownie sundae, salted caramel cheesecake, and chocolate pudding.
Okay. Oh, I've got mine. So the Christmas treat that I am, based on this quiz, is I'm a Yule log cake, because everyone loves to be around you because of your positive energy. Are you the same?
Everyone loves to be around us because of our positive energies.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Well, there you go.
Festive.
Maybe we should write our own quizzes.
We should. They'll be on our Patreon.
Yum. Just finished my drink. Delicious. Cool. So thank you for listening.
Well, I hope you're all having as stress-free a festive period as is possible, no matter where you are in the world, what you celebrate, what holiday this is for you. I hope it is as stress-free and enjoyable as it possibly can be.
Yes, and please, if you would like to, DM us on Instagram with what your Christmas traditions are, because we would love to read them.
And also how you look after yourself on Christmas if you do find it stressful.
Yeah, do you take yourself away
people that can't be themselves when they're around their family, and we are very much here for you. in that. And so if you have any hints and tips you want to suggest for your fellow listeners, please do let us know.
Cool. Yeah, and merry festive time.
Happy holidays.
Cool. So yeah, you can find us on Instagram at 2queers1pod and also on Spotify, Acast and Apple Podcasts, etc.
Wherever else you do your listenage.
Indeed.
And we're on Patreon. Two Queers One Pod is creating podcasts and other queer content. And if we have one more month of donations, we're going to be able to start making stickers and stuff.
So exciting. Yeah, start off the new year with some merch. I say merch, I mean stickers. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Cool. Amazing. Bye.
Yeah, stay safe. Bye.